So now that we've finished our overlay, we want to make sure that our client is happy with their bling and their polish. So my client has chosen a orange polish, and we're going to do a little bit of embellishing as well. When doing gel polish, you want to make sure that the nail plate is completely free of oil. So I'm going to take a lint-free wipe and some alcohol and just wipe my client's nail plate down. That's the first step for whenever you're doing a gel polish application. So I'm just going to wipe down with alcohol to make sure that there's no oil whatsoever. This step is crucial with gel polish or it will peel right up. So I'm going to use two different polish colors on this design. With marbleizing, you want to make sure you have at least two colors to swirl into the nail. Here I have a white, and this is a color change polish. I'm going to begin by first polishing all of the nails except for the one that I'm going to do the marbleized design on. With gel polish, you want to be sure that you do not get any of the polish on the skin, and you want to make sure that you're applying very thin coats with each application. This nail I'm going to embellish, so I'm going to leave that one plain for now. This nail will have a little bit of bling on it. Now, with the gel polish application, you want to make sure that you do the thumbs last. This is very important. And the reason for that is because our thumbs do not lay flat like the rest of our fingers when we put them in the light. So if you put the whole hand in the light with the thumb with polish on it, you're going to have a bubble of polish on the side. That's not pretty. We don't want that. So let's wait till the end. All right, moving on to the next hand. Again, very thin layers. I'm going to leave this nail clear. We'll go back and do that in just a second. So when it comes to gel polishes, you have lots of choices. I would even go as far as to say that you can order offline, but I would stay away from those polishes. I'm not really sure if they're name brand or not. They're usually in a bottle that doesn't have a name on it, so just stick to the name brands and you won't have any problems with your gel polish staying on or peeling off. Okay, into the light, please. Oh, there you go. Again, now we're moving on to our second coat. As you can see, the polish changed colors a little bit from her body heat or the light heat. If you don't have color change polish in your salon, you are losing out. My clients love it. I use it every day. You can upcharge for this service by a few dollars. So I recommend you get color change polish in your salon if you don't have it already. Moving on to the next layer of polish. Again, you want to make sure it's nice and thin. If you're experiencing any curling or wrinkling of your gel polish, it's because it's too thick. You want to make sure that you're using very thin coats of polish. The reason that it curls is because the light has not penetrated through the color pigments down to the bottom layer of the polish. So the only part that cures is the top. Hence the underside is still wet and it curls and crinkles. Again, you can keep that from happening by using thinner coats of polish. I would rather do 3 coats of thin polish than 2 coats and have to take it all off and start over again. All right, so now we're going to do the marbleized nail. Again, you have to have 2 different colors as well as a clear top coat in order to make this work. I have a white, the color change polish that I've already used on my client, and a clear top coat. The first step is to apply the clear top coat. You want to do this very thin. Apply the top coat onto the nail plate first. Again, very thin. You don't want it running everywhere. And now I'm going to apply the colors that I've chosen. This is very simple. You're going to just do one straight line of the white, and this is all preferential. A straight line of the color, and now I'm going to go back and do one more line of the white. I'm going to take something with a sharp edge on it or a tip. This could be a dotting tool, it could be a needle, it could be a pencil, a pen, anything you like. I'm just using the other end of my cuticle pusher. And I'm just going to swirl the nail in the desired pattern. This is completely random, super simple, easy to do, and you can charge extra $5 to $10 for it. And as you can see, it took me 2 seconds. Put that hand in the light. And we're going to do the same thing on the opposite hand. Don't be afraid to play with patterns and colors and glitters and all kinds of different designs. You don't have to do this in one specific way. The more different it looks, the better. Again, I'm just going to take a little bit of the white, the color change, and this time I'm going to do it at a diagonal angle just to show you. Make sure you clean off any polish that has come off onto the skin, and she can put that right in the light. Now I'm going to do her thumb. Should be able to just tap it. Just the thumb. Again, it's very important that you do the thumb last so that your polish doesn't slide onto the corner of the nail. There are a lot of gel lights out there that claim that you can use 5 fingers in it at the same time without having the polish slide off of the thumb. I have not had any success with those lights. So I would just suggest that you always do the thumb last. Save yourself the headache of having to drill off the polish and just do the thumb last. Trust me, I've done it a million times. Listen to your grandmother. When applying gel polish, you want to make sure that you always cap the free edge. It's very important so that you seal the nail in. The polish will tend to peel if there's any open areas of the nail that have not been capped. Also, when you're doing a marbleized nail, make sure that it's the last nail that you do when doing the designs, because the marble will slide right off of the nail and you will lose your design if you don't put it in the gel light quickly. Now that we have completed the entire design except for the bling, we're going to go ahead and top coat this entire hand except for the pointer finger that we're going to add the bling to. So with that, I'm going to use the gelish top coat, my favorite, and apply that to all of the remaining fingers except for the one that we're going to add the bling to. And make sure you cap the free edge with your top coat. It's okay to go ahead and do the thumb when you're doing the clear top coat, simply because the clear top coat has no pigment and the light can cure it much faster, and you don't run the risk of having that bubble on the corner of your thumbs. Okay, so go ahead and put that one in there. And we're going to add top coat. So now that I've got my designs out of the way, I want to go ahead and add just a little bit more razzle-dazzle to my client's nails. So I'm going to add some Swarovski crystals. Yes, Swarovski. Only Swarovski. I use only Swarovski in the House of Bling. So there is a big difference. Here we have Swarovski crystals, and you're also going to need some type of nail glue. I like to use a nail glue that's in a bottle that has a brush on the tip so that I can have more control over where I'm placing my glue. So let's go ahead and get started. When you're doing light bling, you're not going to have the luxury of being able to just lay your glue wherever you want it and it be covered by a stone. You have to be very, very precise of where you lay your glue. This is why I like to use a glue that has a brush attachment. I'm going to just add a very small drop of glue where I would like to lay my stone. Remember, I have not added any top coat to this nail. This is very important. I'm going to go ahead and pick up a medium-sized crystal and lay it directly on top of the glue that I laid there. I'm going to add one more little tiny stone right there underneath that medium-sized stone. Place it right there. You want just enough glue so that you can ensure that the stone is surrounded by the adhesive. That way you can make sure that it doesn't go anywhere. So I'm going to do the same thing on this finger. The light bling is for the client that wants a little bit of bling without all the razzle dazzle. Make sure that your stones are centered using something sharp or with a point on it to move your stones around. You have a little bit of time to move with the glue. Move fast. So now that I've set her stones into the glue, before I put the top coat, I want to make sure that the stones are set. So I'm going to use a glue dryer spray. This is my favorite spray to use. You can get this at Sally's or Cosmoprof. It's just Let's Go glue dryer spray. To keep your stones from clouding, you want to be sure that you start very far away, at least 8 to 10 inches away from the client's hands before you start spraying. Otherwise, you will get cloudy stones. And what's the point of having Swarovski crystals that are cloudy? So, start far away, small bursts, bring it in to the nail. See that pretty color change? Again, we're going to do the same thing on this side. Bring it in. As you can see, it's dried the glue and the stone is still shiny. So now the last step is to top coat that one finger. Make sure that your glue is dry before you do that. And apply your top coat around the stones, not on top, but around. This is very important, and the reason for that is because Swarovski crystals have very beautiful facets and cuts in them. As you can see, that's what causes the bling. If you cover that up with gel or glue or top coat, you will lose all of those facets and lose the sparkle in your stones. Into the light. Again, this side, same thing. This is what I would call light bling. For this service, I charge $5 per nail just for 2 stones. There's a lot of money in bling, trust me. And if you do this appropriately, the stones will be there 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks later. So now that the client's polish is cured, the stones are set, let's go ahead and wipe off the tacky layer of the gel polish. So I'm going to take a lint-free wipe saturated with alcohol, 2 of them or 1, you can use both sides. One side we're going to wipe each nail down. And then I like to turn over just to get any residual stickiness off of the nail plate. As you can see, our color change polish is working. Again, same thing over here. The last step would be to oil the cuticles, and our client's nails are complete. Hey, this is Mary Negron with $1 Million Stylist, and today we learned how to do an overlay on natural nails with acrylic. I had such a great time teaching you guys today. We learned how to apply the acrylic. We learned how to buff the acrylic and shine the acrylic. We learned how to add polish and embellishments to the nails so that they can be nice and blingy just the way I like them. You guys keep on practicing. If you got any questions, let us know, and we have much more coming your way. We appreciate you here, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.